Okay, so through this video, I just make you understand about soup. What is soup? What is the definition of soup? What are the classification of soup? How the soups are being classified? What is the basic difference between thick soup and thin soup? We will learn through this PDF of soup. This is the unit number 4 of food production of second semester. So let us start with the definition of soup. Soup is a liquid or semi-liquid mixture of vegetable and non-veg items like meat, seafood, poultry, herbs and spices. All these ingredients give a unique flavor, taste and aroma to build a perfect soup. Mean to say that ki soup is considered a liquid or semi-liquid mixture of vegetables, and the basic ingredients by which we make the soup are meat items, seafood items, some poultry, and even herbs and spices can be used to make a soup. So, if we talk about the history of soup, the popularity of soup may be due to increased nutritional consciousness, due to a desire for simpler, lighter meals, or due to an increased appreciation of how appetizing and satisfying soup can be taken by the human being. Mean to say that even though we it is well known to us that soup is always considered as an appetizers, and appetizers mean to appetite the food before having a main course. We just start our food by taking some starters. So soup is always be considered as an appetizers, so to appetite our meal. Whatever the reason, we generally emphasize the importance of soup by making some skills that how to prepare the soup. Soup, according to a dictionary, if I talk, so soup is a liquid food derived from so many items. Even though I have already told you that it is derived from either meat items, poultry items, fish or vegetables, or even a combination of all these. So this is all about the definition of soup. Next, we will talk about the classification of soup. Soup are basically classified into three categories. One is thick soup, thin soup, third one is cold soup, and fourth one is international soup. If we talk about thick soup, thick is again categorized into two subcategories. One is unpassed and passed. Unpassed means unpassed soup. Unpassed soup cannot be passed through an strainer. All these category of soup considered as a unpassed soup, and the soup which is passed through the container strainer, that soup considered as an uh, passed soup. So clear or unthickened soup, we can call it clear soup as an unthickened soup, thick soup, and some specialty or national soup, international soup, we can say it. So clear soup, the definition of clear soup is these soup are based on a clear, unthickened broths or stock. They may be served plain or garnished with a variety of meat and vegetable items. The two example of clear soup is broths and bouillon. Broths and bouillon are two terms used in many different ways, but in general they both refer to simple, clear soup without any solid ingredients. As I have already told you that clear soup is a sort of a soup which is passed through the strainer, and those who cannot pass through the strainer, that soup considered as a thickened soup. Broth is a flavorful liquid. Broth and bouillon, I have already told you the two basic example of this soup. broths and bouillon. Broth is a flavorful liquid obtained from simmering meat or some vegetables and is often the base of the another soup. As a base, we can take some another soup. If we considered a vegetable soup or cut vegetable soup, again this is a clear seasoned stock or broth with the addition of one or more vegetables, and sometimes meat items also can be used, poultry products and starch to lightly thicken and give body to the soup. Means the consistency we are talking about. Consistency. Some soup can be served as a smooth and smoothie textures. Some soup can be served as a thickened. So if we thick the soup, we have to add some starch to that to make the thicken. Third is a consomme. Consomme is a very rich flavorful stock that has been clarified to make it perfectly clear and transparent. If you just pour a consomme in a plain cup of soup, a well-made consomme is considered the greatest of all the soup because it is a thin soup. Its sparkling clarity is a delight to the eye, and its rich, full flavor, strength, and body make it a perfect starter for an elegant dinner. This consomme can be considered as a perfect starter for an elegant dinner. So this is all about thin soup. Let us discuss about thick soup, the further classification of thick soup. Unlike clear soup, thick soup are opaque. So clear soup is always a transparent, but if we talk about thick soup, so thick soup is opaque in nature. So thick soup are opaque rather than transparent. They are thickened by if this is a thickened soup, so some thickening agent must be added. Some thickening agent must be added to make it a thickened. So by thickening agent, we thick the soup. As a thickening agent, we can use a roux. Roux is a cooked equal quantity of cooked mixture of equal quantity of refined flour and butter. So here roux can be used as a thickening agent to thicken the soup, or by curing one of the ingredients to provide a heavier consistency. So if the soup is served as a thicken, so the consistency is much heavier as compared to the transparent soup, as I have already discussed. So the further classification of thick soup is number one, that is cream soup. Cream soup are soup that are thickened with roux, burimani, or liaison. Cream soup are usually named after the main ingredients such as cream of chicken, cream of tomato. As I have already told you, if we are adding a thickening agent to make the soup thickened, so as a thickening agent we are adding equal quantity of refined flour and butter, which is called as a roux. Apart from roux, there are so many thickening agents which we can use to make the soup thickened, like burimani and liaison. So the best example of cream soup is cream of tomato, cream of chicken. We can serve as a cream soup. Number two is puree. Puree are soup that are naturally thickened by puring one or more of their ingredients. They are not as smooth or creamy as a cream soup as compared to cream soup, but puree are normally based on starchy ingredients like dried peas or from fresh starchy ingredients like potatoes. Puree may or may not contain milk or cream. Puree may or may not contain any sort of milk or cream. Third classification is bisque. Bisque are thickened soup made from shellfish. They are usually prepared like cream soup and finished off with cream. So topping with the cream, garnishing with the cream is mandatory while preparing a bisque, which is made from shellfish. Number four classification of thick soup is velouté. Velouté are thick soup made from stock, lasagne, roux. Roux, as I have already told you that roux is a mixture of cooked equal quantities of refined flour and butter. So here we can thicken the soup by using a roux and a flavoring. Flavoring are similar to cream soup but are much richer. Number fifth is souther. Souther are hearty soup of American origin. and are made of fish, shellfish, and even sometimes vegetables also. Although they are made in different ways, they usually contains milk and potatoes, processed pork products like ham, bacon, or dried sausages are also added to make sodas. There is also a version based on tomatoes. Cheese also features prominently in sodas. Cheese can be added in soda soup while preparing. Number six is potage. Potage is a term sometimes associated with thick, hearty soup, but is actually a general term for soup. A clear soup is called potage clair in French. If we talk about some specialty and traditional soup, there is a general category of soup that do not fit into any of the previous groups. They are soup that are native to a particular region or country, which we are called as an international soup. Cold soup are sometimes categorized as a specialty soup. Uh, Very famous cold soup, that is gazpacho soup. Gazpacho is from Spain, and one more soup is from USA. The name of that soup is which is from USA. So these two soup are always considered as a cold soup. Cold soup are sometimes categorized as specialty soup. As I have already told you, the following are traditional soups from different parts of the world, like bichi's soup, turtle soup, oxtail soup, gazpacho. Gazpacho is even a cold soup which is from Spain, and this is a veg soup. Is spinach, minestrone. Minestrone is a soup from Italy. Mulligatawny. Mulligatawny is a Indian soup, Indian international soup. Gombo. These are some example of international soup. So just we will move ahead. Uh, we will see how the soup, what are the basic rules of serving the soups. So the standard portion size for soup is 6 to 8 ounce. If you convert ounce into ml, so it comes around 200 to 250 ml. So this is for one portion. If one portion of soup is to be served, then we have to take around 200 to 250 ml in a soup bowl. Soup always served hot, but if we talk about cold soup, that cold soup served at a room temperature. Serve hot soup piping hot in soup cups or bowls. Serve cold soup chilled in chilled cups or ideally on room temperature. So if we talk about the garnishing of the soup, soup garnishing may be divided into three groups. Major ingredients of the soup such as vegetables, poultry cut into small dices can be considered as a garnish. Consomme are normally named after their garnishes. As we have already, it is well known to us that if we are garnishing in a Julian style, that consomme named after the Julian style is consomme Julian, which is garnished with juliens of the vegetables. So julienne is a cutting of the vegetables. It is the name of cutting of the vegetables. If we talk about toppings, thick soup are normally decorated with the toppings. This could be a simple swirl of cream or chopped parsley, leaves of mints. These all are an examples of toppings that can be used while serving the soup. Also included in this category are toasted sliced almonds, croutons, grated cheese, and crumbled bacon. Clear soups are rarely served with the toppings. If we talk about the accompaniments while serving the soup, so some examples as an accompaniment which goes well with soup, like bread rolls, slices and sticks, cheese straw, melba toast, corn chips, and even cream crackers, biscuits. These all are very popular accompaniments for soup along with butter. So classical garnishing for soup is already discussed. What are the accompaniments which goes well with soup that I have already discussed? Some garnishing major ingredients such as vegetables in clear soup often considered as a garnish. This group of garnishing also includes meat, poultry, and seafoods. Pasta products well used for garnishing grains such as barley or rice. They are treated as part of the preparation or recipe itself. Consomme are generally named after their garnish such as consomme brunoise, which contains vegetables cut into brunoise cut. Brunoise cut is a cut which is having a 3 mm dices. Vegetable cream soup are usually garnished with cut pieces of vegetables from which they are made. An elegant way to serve soup with a solid garnishing is to arrange the garnish attractively. The basic reason of garnishing the soup to make the soup eye appealing. This is the basic reasons. How we garnish the food, the basic reason behind garnishing any foods. So here we are garnishing the soup is only to make the soup eye appealing in front of the guest. Topping and accompaniments. Accompaniments. American soups are traditionally served with crackers. In addition to the usual saltiness, other suggestions for crisp accompaniments are like for if we serve a crispy accompaniments with soup. So some basic examples of crispy accompaniments like Melba toast, corn chip breads, stick cheese straws, profiteroles. Profiteroles is a teeny unsweetened cream puff cells. Whole grain wafers can be served as an accompaniment. So this is all about the soup. So in this PDF, we have learned about the basic definition of soup, some history of making the soup, what are the classification of soup, in how many categories the soup are whole and full classified, what is the basic difference between thick and thin soup, what is passed, what is unpassed soup, some examples of cold soup, some examples of uh, international soup we have already discussed. I hope you all have understood it well. What is broth? What is bouillon? What is puree? What is bisque? What is velouté? Some classification of cold soup. So now I am just going to give you all some name of the international soup along with their country of origin. Number one is gazpacho. Gazpacho is a soup from Spain. Mulligatawny is a soup from India. Chicken broth. Chicken broth is a soup of England. Kokeliki soup is from Scotland. Clam chowder is a soup from USA. Beer soup is from Germany. French onion soup is from France. Minestrone is a soup from Italy. After the name of some international soup, I must share some special points for the service and preparation of the soup. Number one, the first class, clean, strong, and flavorful stock should be used while preparing the soup, as it would help in producing good quality soup. So, while preparing the soup or while serving the soup, there are some following points that should be taken into an account, or there are some following points that should be taken into an consideration while serving and while preparing the soup. Number one, I have already told you that flavorful stocks should be used as it would help in producing good quality soup. Number two, if there is a heavy entree, entree means entry to the main course, the soup should be thin or light. If the heavy soup is served, the portion should be small. The soup should not be in any way be filling or consist of food particles that require much chewing. Next point, while serving the food, is a very important point that should be taken into an account. The garnishing should be very small so that they can be picked up easily by soup spoon. Soup should always be moderately seasoned. Serve hot soup, piping hot, and cold soup very cold. Consomme should be amber in color. Onion halved and browned on the hot plate are added to the soup for color. If we talk about the accompaniments of the soup should be of crispy character, like as for example, Melba toast. various crackers, breadstick, cheese croutons, bread rolls, etc. So this is all about this is all about soup. I hope you all have understood it well. So in the next video, I'll come across with a new chapter, that is sauce. So thank you very much.